MNNIT, Prayagraj, wholeheartedly welcome you all in this WIE session. First of all, I deliberately want to express my gratitude towards our chief guest, Jennifer Castillo ma'am, IEEE Y Chair 2021, Honorable Director BBDITM Lucknow, Dr. S.S. Chauhan sir, Student Branch Counselor Professor Rafiq Ahmed sir, Advisor IEEE BBDITM Dr. Khadim Moin Siddiqui sir, and IEEE BBDITM Y Affinity Group Advisor Professor Kanika Lamba ma'am for providing us these worthful opportunities and a room to explore our strengths in various fields. Determination, courage, and practicality are the major aspects of any organization with an objective of encouraging the spirit of research and innovation. IEEE BBDITM, in technical collaboration with IEEE IIT Kanpur, feels extremely proud to host this event consisting an expert talk and an amazing game session under the virtual leadership training week. Thank you so much everyone for joining us today. It really means a lot to us. All the participants are kindly requested to avoid any kind of nuisance and are instructed to please keep their microphones and videos off during the entire program.
Aditi, voice is not audible, beta. Aditi, Shrey, am I audible, beta?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, beta, you're audible, beta.
Okay, ma'am. Let me take this opportunity and acknowledge you all that our branch has organized over more than 75 events, including Region 10 programs, beginning from March 2020 till date, and competitions on various topics, including webinar on advanced signal processing technique, IEEE Student Member Development Program, and many more. Our branch has also been awarded as the best student branch in the UP section in the year 2020. On the behalf of IEEE BBD ITM branch, I express the gratitude towards everyone who has been attending the programs and are supporting us throughout. Here is a short glimpse of various events organized by our IEEE branch right from its inception. Kindly have a look to that. So now, to inaugurate this Y event, first of all, I'd like to invite our Honorable IEEE BBD ITM Y Affinity Group Advisor, Mrs. Kanika Lamba, ma'am, for the welcome address. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Aditi. Good evening, everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to start this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everybody. I heartily welcome our chief guest, Ms. Jennifer Castillo, IEEE Vice Chair, Director Sir, HODs, faculty member, IEEE members, and volunteers. Today, we have gathered here to listen to one of the most accomplished women to speak, aware, and guide us about women in engineering, its benefits and outcomes, and role of STEM in shaping future technocrats. Ma'am, it's indeed a wonderful day to listen to you about why women in engineering. Women in engineering directly or indirectly impacts the life of millions of women across the world through its initiative in education and health. There are about more than 15,000 IEEE members worldwide in 70 plus countries with 600 plus IEEE affinity groups and conducting 1500 plus annual Y events. IEEE is one of the largest international professional organizations dedicated to promoting women engineers and scientists and inspiring girls around the world to follow their academic interest to a career in engineering. Today, Ms. Jennifer Castillo will put light on all the above aspects. Secondly, I would like to express my gratitude to our ex-WIE student chair, Sakshi Priyam, for all her efforts and contribution for building the WIE in BBDITM. She is the person who contributed a lot for establishing the branch in BBDITM. Thank you so much, student. Next, I will like to acknowledge the contribution made by Aditi Singh, Vice Secretary. Apart from her duties assigned to her, she worked on humanitarian grounds and teaches undergraduate students. Doing charity at such young age is a very big thing. I congratulate you for all your contribution and effort. Next, I would like to mention our IEEE student chair, Shri Khanna, Vice Chair Abdullah Ahmed, our Vice Student Chair Kainat Fatima, Y team, our anchors Aditi Singh, Agagarta Singh, our technical supporting team working behind for all their hard work that resulted here today. The event is so well organized. Thank you so much, team. I also thank management, director, sir, Dr. S.S. Chauhan, our branch counselor, Professor Rafiq Ahmed, our branch advisor, Khadi Moin Siddiqui, for giving us the platform and timely supporting us. Because of their combined effort, we are able to organize such events. I will not take much time waiting for the ma'am to listen to you. Over to you, Aditi.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the welcome. Moving ahead to the main and the most amazing segment of this session. Today, we are highly grateful and embraced because we are marking the presence of such a huge personality as a chief guest between us for an expert lecture on role of STEM in shaping future technocrats. Today, we have Miss Jennifer Castillo, ma'am, Y Committee Chair 2021, an IEEE senior member being part of IEEE as member and volunteer for almost 16 years. She is a mechatronics engineer graduated from San Buenaventura University in Bogota, Colombia, MBA International Enterprises from the Polytechnic University of Puerto Rico. She currently works for Parker Hannifin Corporation Fortune 250 company, where she is the territory manager of the Caribbean, in charge of business development in all the different islands. She has been an individual, a leader, and an inspiration to all the women out there. Ma'am, we are overwhelmed to welcome you in this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm not sure I'm that special, but I will try to give you a cool presentation today. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much for the invitation today, and I hope you're hearing me well. And you can see my screen well. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit the opportunities for that IEEE and WIE offer for school students, and the importance of skill development in the early age. I will use a little bit and a lot, maybe, my example, because it's the way. It's different when I can share you some theory, but I feel that has more impact when I can show you what it made for me and keeps making for me in my professional career. As advice, I'm Jennifer Castillo. I am an absolute fan of Rasbahari or Raspberry. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. That is, in Colombia is Uchua, and the mangosteen that in Colombia is mangostino. And many years ago, I want to say like 12 years ago, we had a visitor in Colombia, Ravi Todi, and he's from India. He was so happy to see uchuvas there. And that's where I realized that India and Colombia had a lot of gastronomy in common. So that was for me fantastic. And I always share this. Okay, let's move forward. One thing that I would like to encourage a lot is please ask. I love to reply to address questions, and I think it is boring if it is only me talking. Today I'm having a little bit of my throat is soaring a little bit. It's not soaring really. It's just that I was in a loud place yesterday, and that's the result. But please ask. I'm here to support anything I can with. So let me introduce myself. First and foremost, I am a family person. I am Pachito's wife. That's my husband, Pacho Francisco. I am the aunt of Jacobo, Emilio, Esteban, Angeles, and Emilio, because I have two Emilios in my family for some reason. I'm the daughter of Elizabeth and Raúl, and I am the favorite sister of Camilo and Hadra, and they are all in Colombia, my parents and Camilo and Hadra. I am living currently in Puerto Rico because I got married with Pachito and he imported me 7 years ago. I have the honor of being IEEE WIE Global Committee Chair. I'm the first Latina that achieves this, but as I always say, I must be not the last one. So here to represent everybody. I am also IEEE Region 9 Secretary, and I am the IEEE Puerto Rico and Caribbean Section Past Chair. And in my daily job, I was recently promoted, so I'm not a territory manager of the Caribbean anymore. Right now, I'm the project specifications manager for Latin America in Parker Hannifin Corporation in the instrumentation group. So this is a little snap of what my life is. And as you can see, for me, family will always be in the first quadrant, will always be first. Here is Lolita. Lola is my dog. We adopted her this year in January. And my parents and my husband, they represent my family. In my second quadrant is Parker. My job will be first. However, for me, IEEE at this point is very important. I have some positions in IEEE where even if I am a volunteer, I just cannot commit to something and not deliver. Positions like a Women in Engineering Chair or Region 9 Secretary, you must deliver. Is already like a part-time job, but I'm very happy to do it. I also have hobbies. I love to travel a lot. These are our bags, my bag, his bag. we travel a lot. I love to do amigurumis. I knit. This is crochet, so I can make a lot of these little dolls, toys. I am a wannabe runner. I run 5Ks only, but I enjoy it. And I am a book eater. I love reading. There are some other hobbies or some other activities that I used to do a lot that I'm not doing right now a lot, like swimming or practicing volleyball or playing the ukulele. But it is because we have so many activities in the day that at some point you have to prioritize and see what do you leave aside, and maybe you can take care of that in another moment. So that's pretty much me, and I hope this introduction was clear. My main goal is in life is really enjoying life, and to be honest, be happy. And even if this sounds very cheesy, because it sounds cheesy, there's one thing that I learned many years ago in the series Sex and the City, and it is that you don't have to be happy like every minute of every hour of every day, because that's not how it works. And that is, I think that a very aggressive goal and many times very frustrating goal, but you do have to be happy every day with your life. If you are not, you want to assess what is happening and what you can change, because at the end you are the master of your life. So what can you change? So that's my main goal, waking up and enjoying where I'm waking up, and who I'm waking up with, and the activities that I will do during the day. Enough of those presentations. That is like the happy positive. No, here comes the better part. So this is me in IEEE, and this is I'm starting with what has been my journey, because that's the way that I can show you where did I learn what, and how is it helping me in my job and my life. So I started as the Universidad de San Buenaventura Student Branch WIE chair. I was the affinity group chair. I was making these kind of events, or the STAR program, and I fell in love with IEEE thanks to WIE. Afterwards, I became the chair of the student branch, and then when I got my professional degree, I had several positions in the Colombia section. From marketing, membership development, I was the vice chair of this section, many positions. There, I was also the chair and founder of the WIE Colombia section, the professional one. And when I was the chair of the young professionals in Colombia, we won the best young professionals in Region 9. With something back then, young professionals used to be the graduates of the last decades, gold. So back then we had this gold team, and that was the first team that I put together in IEEE. I knew that if we wanted to be the best of the best, we couldn't be, it could not be only me. It should be a team. And then we had this gold team. It was 4 people that they were amazing. And then I was chair of the Industry Applications Society, IAS, and we won the best global chapter, again, thanks to the team. And then I came to Puerto Rico. And when I came to Puerto Rico, I saw a very different section than the one I used to volunteer for. Like, we were a bigger section, and we had a wider structure. And in Puerto Rico, we were fewer volunteers, and we didn't have like the same structure, like a SAC, like a YP coordinator. It was very different. So the first thing I thought was, let's focus on the students, because I really believe that the students are the future of not only IEEE, but the future of technology, the future of the world. So my first position was a SAC, Student Activities Coordinator. And here I organize with the student branches the first, we call it the Zonas Estes. These are every quarter we did a meeting with the student branches, so they could share what they were doing, they could share what they needed, and we would share with them the latest resources, the latest case of success, and etc. And they will, expand their network, and meet the other guys from and gals from the other student branches. And we did the first national student branch meeting. So what we did was every student branch, and including Dominican Republic, that is part of the Puerto Rico and the Caribbean section, would gather, and we would be in 2 days event, training the future leaders of our section. And we did the first one, and we have already did, this year is I want to say the 5th version of the event. And it's been consistent, it's been successful, and most important, the current IEEE Puerto Rico and Caribbean section chair came from the first student, from the first version of this event. So it shows that it's effective. Okay, then they didn't have WIE either. So I was also the WIE chair and founder. And then I started with YP, just the same that I was doing in Colombia. I was not lazy at all. I came here and I said, okay, let's do it from the beginning, because this was a new structure. And it's important sometimes to give a step back to come back even stronger. So I was here for young professional as well, and for IAS chair as well. And then I became the IEEE Puerto Rico and Caribbean section chair. Once I was the chair, I had some visibility in the region. And then I was the first Region 9 Industry Engagement Committee chair. And after that, we already have a committee. It was me only, but now we have a committee. It is working. It is really moving forward. And then I became a WIE committee member. So the committee, the global committee, it has a chair. Right now it's me, but we have committee members. It's a total of 8 additional members that have voting rights. And what happened there is you can be just a member, or you can be something like leading, some subcommittees or any specific initiatives, which is something that I took care of as well. Then I was already past chair of the IEEE Puerto Rico and Caribbean section, but we knew that one of the things that we had to improve in this section was the technical activities. So I became the coordinator of technical activities. And this is something I learned with, there is a volunteer in India, Raja, and he says, no matter which is my position in IEEE, I will always be a volunteer of my section. And I feel the same way. Then I became part of the Global Industry Engagement Committee. I am currently a member. I have, as I told you, the other 2 positions. So let's talk about what I learned in all that career. So I sum up everything in 5 main points. The first one is the administrative experience. The second one is the teamwork, that, as you could see, I mentioned teams several times in the last slide. For me, that's key. The leadership opportunities, the entrepreneurship, and the multicultural experience. So let's talk about each. So in the administrative area, we are engineers and we like to create, we like to make a lot of innovations, we like to do a lot of things with our hands, with our mind. But what happened is, in the real life, that is very important, but your administrative portion is as important. If you do something, you come with the best innovation and you don't know how to patent it, you will waste a lot of opportunities. You will miss a lot of opportunities. If you are in your company and you don't know how to report, how to show the company what you are doing, you will miss opportunities of growth. So this administrative experience that I gathered, most of all when I was in the student branch, that is where you really don't know that beside the labs reports, you really don't know that this is some important thing you need to learn. This was key for my first job. I was used to do reports. I was used to consolidate events and to plan events. And I was good at meetings. I was good at this kind of things that you don't get in a classroom. You see my point? So for my management, this was an ability that I had that for them was very, very important. So do not disregard this. And one thing that I can tell you is you will not get this as a member. You will get this as a volunteer. So that's why I've always said that the volunteers in IEEE get more benefits than the member. And this is beautiful because this is how we can show that by giving, you receive. This is what I received from that. Then the teamwork. And the teamwork I learned not only because of the experiences that I had forming teams, leading teams, being part of teams, but also because I was part of a program that IEEE has, that is the VOLT program. It is the Volunteer Leadership Training. It is not for everybody. A lot of people applies. You have to be a professional already. This is not for students, but in the future, whenever you get your degree, you want to look for this. So this is for the future leaders of the organizational units. And some are selected. I was selected back in 2016. And they give you so many tools for you to grow, not only in IEEE, but as a professional. One of the things they did was I was part of this test where I could understand who am I in a team. So I know what I can offer to a team, that I'm exceeding at that, but I also know what are my opportunities of development. What do I have to do? Because sometimes, a lot of times, there are extroverts and there are introverts. As you can see, I am an extrovert, but sometimes the extroverts, we get so excited about the meetings and the trainings and the activities that sometimes we do not let the introverts that require a little bit more of time to get ready, to participate, to be part, to go through that process. So we may stop others' process. So that's something that we really do not realize. And by understanding that, the team will flow better. So that for me was fantastic. I've been learning to listen, and not only to listen, because many times I listen, but since I'm a talker, people think that I'm not listening. So one thing is to listen, and another thing is to show the other that you are actually listening. So I learned some tools to make sure that the other felt listened as well. This is important. It's not only what you feel is happening, it's also what the other perceive is happening. Respect others' opinions. This came from home, and has been there forever. But it's important that you, as a leader, request that in the meeting. That's why I like, for example, you had in this slide that no bad behavior or no disrespect was going to be permitted. That's fantastic, and I really think that it has to come up front. Sometimes we think that we assume people know this, but not every time they know. So it's important that in the teamwork, there's something that is my candy, my I love to see, and is witness other successes. And I witness and I enjoy it. For example, if I have an idea and I don't have the time to make that idea come, ideas are ideas, and sometimes ideas are over um, it- are very good, but the fact that you have an idea is nothing if you don't put it into action. So many people attach to those ideas and no, because it's my ideas. I'm not that person. If I have an idea and I see that you have the talent to put it into action, I will give it to you. My objective is go ahead and make it a reality, because an idea without action is nothing. You have nothing. So I love to see other successes. I love to see others putting into action ideas of other people and working together. I think that's part of the team progressing and be successful. And the last but not the least, understand it's not about myself, but it's a greater good. Here in WIE as the global chair, you don't know how much I miss to do this. I love to talk to people. I love to inspire people. I love to do the START program. That for me is the outreach is, I love to work with kids and show them they have a future in technology and they can do whatever they want to do. But when we come to these kind of positions, we don't do this as much anymore. We have to enable others. So for me, working as the WIE chair, yes, I don't get to do this as often, but I know that there are almost 1,000 affinity groups out there that I am enabling to do this. So it's the greater good. It's not only about myself. So that's teamwork for me. Then with the leadership opportunities, as I told you, this is the second part. I started with micro volunteers. In the section, in the professional section in Colombia, as I told you, I was in charge of marketing. All I did was designing the logo, the corporate image of the section. It was a micro volunteering opportunity, but I took it as if I was the chair of the section. I did everything beyond what I was asked for. Why? Because I saw the opportunity. And thanks to that micro volunteering opportunity, I was able to grow. I had the opportunity, for example, to lead the WIE. And when I was leading the WIE, and in every position that I've had, I have given results. So, for example, this year in the IEEE Industry Engagement Committee, all I asked was, what would you like to see at the end? What are the tangible results that you want to see at the end? And that's what I'm focusing on. because many times we have a lot of opinions and we have, again, a lot of ideas, but if we don't have results, that's you have nothing to show at the end with the history, which is your legacy. So this is something I learned in IEEE and I take to my job. In my job, and you will see whenever you get to be a young professional, it is all about results. Your growth, you can be very good, but if you don't have results, you may not have the opportunities of growth that you are looking for. So that's good. As a volunteer, I try to be kindly available. If you reach out to me, I will tell you yes if I can. I will tell you no if I can't, because I've learned to say no, which is a very difficult thing to do. But I will never tell you, oh, I'm too busy. Let me reply later. No, I don't have time for that. No, and I don't like to work with people like that. I will handle it, but I try to be kindly available. And if it is no, it is just no, and people will understand. But I never receive your request like, no, I'm too busy for you. I think it is rude, and I don't feel good when I get that reply. And then as and this was beautiful. When as an IEEE volunteer, when I became the student branch chair, I experimented my first promotion. And IEEE, I think, gives you that feeling like you are growing, like you are progressing, and that feels good. And once you experiment something like that, you want to look for others. So I really think this is like eye-opening experience in the terms of professional growth. And then you will look for more like that. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for leadership. A great offers great opportunities for leadership. Then came the entrepreneurship. A lot of people talk about entrepreneurship, and my dad is an entrepreneur. I have so many, my brother, so many friends, and I love entrepreneurs. But I think we need to talk about a lot more about entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship, I'm going to read it, but I will explain it. It's a system that allows an employee to act like an entrepreneur within a company or other organization. Entrepreneurs are self-motivated, proactive, and action-oriented people who take the initiative to pursue an innovative product or service. What happened here? This is IEEE. You are not founding IEEE. You're part of an organization, but you can make a lot of new things within IEEE. So for example, I told you I was the founder of WIE in Colombia and WIE in Puerto Rico. And I was the first industry engagement committee chair in Region 9. I had the opportunity to be the entrepreneur of those organizational units within a wider umbrella. What happened is nowadays, corporations like Parker is a Fortune 250 company. We are 57,000 employees global wide. So when you come with ideas, when you are an entrepreneur in these kind of companies that is widely appreciated, they want people with the drive. And I really think that understanding this within IEEE enabled me to take it to Parker. So I'm not afraid to say in Parker, like, I have this idea, I want to do this new thing, I want to do that. And they appreciate that very much. So let's talk about more entrepreneurship from now and then, because I really think this is one of the key things that had enabled me to grow in Parker. Last but not least, the multicultural experience. The fact that I can talk to you, the fact that you are knowing a little bit about my culture, the fact that we are listening to each other accents. I call my accent the Sofia Vergara accent. Sofia Vergara is a Colombian actress. And I'm proud of my accent. I'm sure that you as well. And the fact that we can meet other affinity groups, other student branches leaders, the fact that we can have access to global success stories, that gives you an idea of what is happening globally. One thing, for example, that I love, right now I am part of a global team. I have a counterpart, like a peer in India, and I have one in Korea, and I have one in UK. So for me, learning that India, when you do this or when you do this, you are not meaning the same that it means in my country. You are not doubting me. You are not giving a negative. You are using your own language for your body to communicate with me. And that's something I learned in IEEE, whether you believe it or not. And and now in Parker I am working with someone in India. For me, it's easy to understand what he is saying. For me, it's easy to understand the way he approached to projects, and it is because of the multicultural experience. I think that that is invaluable. That is something that only an institute like IEEE and WIE can offer, because we are globally spread. Also, growing as a volunteer in a multicultural experience is a way to become an inclusive professional. And God knows we need inclusive and diverse professionals in industry and in academy. Okay. Moving forward. This was my, I love this, oh, I'm sorry. I love this slide. I just want to tell you, my first job, I was the student branch chair, I told you, and we had the opportunity to do the mechatronics national event in my university. So as the student branch chair, I was part of the planning committee, correct? And this had sponsors, and this had keynotes, and all what the conferences have. So when I came to find my first job, and I was going through interviews, Parker representative in Colombia saw this experience. First of all, they liked that I had led teams, that I was giving some portion of my time that I was not only attending to the university, to the classes, but I was actually doing something else. And they saw the reason why they called me is because they saw their main competitor as a sponsor of that event. So that, and the fact that I spoke English, was the fact that brought me to that interview. And then it was only my charm. No, I'm kidding. But then that was the interview and the process. But I have to be grateful with IEEE, because that was the reason why they called me. So first job, thank you, IEEE. Okay. Then my professional experience, I started as a Parker Hannifin product specialist. They gave me the opportunity to go to Brazil. I was 1 year in Brazil as a trainee. I learned Portuguese as well. So huge experience. Then I moved to Ingersoll Rand as an applications engineer. And then I was promoted to sales coordinator in the Caribbean. And then when I moved to Puerto Rico, I had the opportunity to continue as the manager of the Caribbean in Puerto Rico, or go back to Parker Hannifin. And that's where you balance. I like Ingersoll Rand a whole lot. It's a fantastic company. But to be honest, my blood is yellow. Yellow is Parker's color. And I went back to Parker. And then, as I told you, in March of this year, I was promoted to a specifications manager in Latin America. Meanwhile, I did my MBA when I was in Parker in my second term. So that has been a tremendous growth for me as a professional in Parker. Growing in a corporation, once you get to this position, is not that easy, because the cone of opportunities start to reduce. But Parker is a good school, and I really think IEEE has given me a lot of tools to navigate that. So what happened was, in Parker, there is like a WIE. It is called the Peer W. And we have this, it's like a group to promote the development of women within Parker. And one of the executives that gave us a presentation showed us what a tool chest is. And I want to share this very quickly with you. This is to consolidate in each positions of your career. What have you learned? Which are your new skills? And for the new position, which are the new skills that you need to develop? So for example, these skills that I just told you, these 5 skills were the foundation of my initial career. And thanks to those skills is the reason why I have been growing and accumulated more skills as I grow in Parker, from business development to a good way to address negotiations, so many skills that you have learned, and that's with Parker. But make sure you understand which are your skills, and in your positions, what are the new skills that you need. And in that way, you will find what else do you need to develop, okay? Now, just to wrap up, what really matters, and is I told you about the skills to grow in your profession and everything, but IEEE has given me something that is for me invaluable, and is back in 2012 when I got married, I was reevaluating if I wanted to continue as a volunteer or not. I was thinking about moving to Puerto Rico. I was thinking about my MBA, and I was like, I'm not sure if I want to devote this much time to the volunteering side. Then I got married, and in my wedding night, I received this message, and it is in Spanish because it was in Spanish, and I didn't want to translate everything because it could get lost. But I can tell you that this was a volunteer of IEEE that was back then. Now she's a professional; she owns her company and everything. But she was telling me that when she was in the school, she attended to one of the student branch affinity group a STAR program, the presentations, to inspire girls to become professional in STEM careers. And she was like trying to decide what she wanted to study, and she saw that this lady was presenting, and she was passionate about her career, and she inspired her to pursue that career, the engineering, electric engineering. And she was thanking me because I was the person that gave that presentation. And I showed that we are warriors, that we are capable, and that we could demand more from ourselves to achieve our goals. And she was thanking me. But here is the point. And I now I can talk about this. Like in the past, I would cry every time I saw this. When you are doing these kind of events, you are, for example, today, you're thinking about, is everybody listening? Do we have the good audio? Is the speaker here? In an in-person one, you're thinking about the sandwiches or the juices or so many logistic things, and you are not aware that somebody is listening, that you are making an impact in somebody and maybe changing somebody's life. And I thought, oh my God, this was when I was like in the lower position in IEEE, because I air quote, because this is a hierarchy, but every position is important. So I thought, what could I do if I keep on going? How many people could I impact and make a difference to? And I think that this experience, this particular thing that I am enabled to do is a fantastic one. Is something that I want to keep on going, and this opportunity to touch people's lives is beyond rewarding than any other skill I've learned. So with this, I would like to close today. As always, please remember what is important: to be kind with yourself. During the pandemic, I saw so many people trying to learn a new language, learn how to play a new instrument, drop the 15 pounds they want, that we all want to drop every time, and run a 5K, maybe a 10K, and do all these because we're at home and we have time. And sometimes, you know what, we have to be kind with ourselves and recognize the good things that we are capable of, the good things that we do. We also learn in the pandemic to, and if we didn't learn before, to be kind with others, to look to the side and to really understand other situations. That if you hear a dog barking in the back or a kid crying, you know, people is at home doing their best to be here, to be with you. Another thing that I learned through my career is to don't be a mat. And that means you want to concede, you want to be kind and everything, but you don't want to let others walk all over you. So learn when to establish your limits, stay grounded. Even if you grow, even if you get to certain positions in your life, stay grounded, because everything can go in no time. And remember that together we are better. So I am recommending this because even if I got the vaccine, if others do not get the vaccine, we are not going to get over this virus. So together we're better. As a team, we need to overcome this. Get your vaccinations whenever it is ready for you. And again, and to close, this is a nice quote from Indra Nooyi that I found, that is, please help others rise. Greatness comes not from a position, but from helping build the future. We have an obligation to pull others up. What I told you, I'm the first Latina in this position. I will not be the last. And I'm here because I want to empower other women to grow. And I thank all the women and men that are in this presentation for making this possible, for the support to these initiatives. And I'm open to any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Castillo, for shaping the mindset of tomorrow's leaders with your enlightening and enthusiastic talk. We absolutely love this small glimpse in your life, and I'm sure you have highly inspired each one of us with your joyfulness and positivity. We are inspired by your enthusiasm to take initiatives throughout your career. I'm Agrita Singh, present as your second anchor for the evening, and I would now like to open the stage for audience questions. Participants are requested to raise their hands before accessing the microphone, or you can put up your questions in the chat box.
Good evening, respected ma'am. Hello.
We can hear you.
Myself, Siddhansh Trivedi. I am from BBDNITM IEEE Branch, Joint Secretary of Computer Society. Ma'am, there is a question in my mind that how we can encourage more women to participate in a project or in a technical work. As we can see, so many women are participated, but all the work has to done by men only in a particular group. They only take the credit. How we can encourage them to work with the men equally?
Okay, so this is a good one. The first thing is, let them. Many girls and many women, for example, if we go to a lab and we are all trying to make this, let's see, simulation or whatever, and you relegate, for example, a woman to do the report instead of playing with the tools, she will feel separated. She will feel like, okay, let them do the work and I can do the report. So let them use their hands. I'm one of those that for me it's difficult to ask for help, but I'm learning. But it's because many times I felt that guys tend to be a gentleman, maybe tend to try to do many things for me that I was capable of. So when I feel that, I tend to put some distance. So let them do things, and that's encouraging enough, because we have the drive. But that's one of the things that is very like in the real world. And the other thing is, invite them. You, for example, you can go to do some outreach and go to do some presentations to girls and tell them about what good women bring to the teams in engineering, what good capabilities, capacities, that abilities that the women had to the team. Listening from other genders is really good for girls. So and the other thing that you can do is what you are doing right now. You're here, you're listening, and you're trying to understand what can you do. That, for me, you have gone a very good length to support us, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is by the
Good evening, ma'am. There's one more question.
Yes, of course.
Ma'am, what in your opinion is the importance of STEM to societal innovation and progress?
Oh no, but that's that's a huge question. That is like a presentation. In my opinion, it is not only key; it is pivotal. It determines if the progress is or not in place. STEM involves everything, every discipline that is related to innovation. This is why it's so important to keep on going, motivating this kind of involvement of every gender in STEM. Because, for example, let me give you a good example. I learned that from Kathy Land, the current IEEE president. So back in the days when the airbags, the car airbags were invented, they didn't work for kids and for women. Why was that? Because they were created only by men. So they had in their perception what men needed, but not necessarily what women or other or kids needed. So what happened is they had to recreate the airbag so it will work for any particular user. So you can tell that that is life saving, and it's part of the progress of our society. But if you don't have the inclusiveness, then it will not work well for some of the people. So that shows you how STEM is particularly necessary for the progress, but also how diversity and inclusion is part of the key. That's why it's so important that everybody is involved with the STEM, so we can have a progress that is sustainable for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem.
Ma'am, there is a personal question I would like to ask. As an introvert and kind of fearsome to be able to ask questions or participate in teams, how do I overcome such issues on my behalf, or what actions can I take to grow a team within my team?
So you just gave another great step, and it was asking and not typing in the chat. That, for example, if you are an introvert, you just make something that is difficult for yourself. And that's really good. IEEE offers this, like you feel in a safe environment to do this kind of questions. So whenever you go to your company, you will not feel as afraid to do it as before. One thing that I can recommend is two recommendations for the introverts. If you want to make a question and you are taking, or you want to participate, and you don't feel sure, or you are not confident, or you're feeling insecure for some reason, write it down in your notepad. And whenever you're ready, go for it, dive in. Because when you have this anchor, you feel a little more confident about doing it. With the time, you will not need it. With the time, you are going to overcome that. And to the extrovert that are listening to me, always remember to do in the meetings an open question to people that are not participating. This is not to throw people under the bus, but many of times they have something to say and they don't find the good moment, the appropriate moment. And if you open the opportunity, you are including them, and you are going to, for sure, listen to some great opinions, ideas, and actions, a call for actions in the meetings.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was
No
really
problem.
wonderful interaction. And now I would like to proceed further. And once again, remind friends of gaming session we have planned for you all. I now invite Ms. Sakshi Priya ma'am on the stage for the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Agatha. Firstly, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to Ms. Jennifer Castillo, ma'am, who took out time for us from her busy schedule. Ma'am, thank you so much. We are very much grateful for your presence. I would also like to thank the Director of BBDITM, Dr. S.S. Chauhan, sir, for letting us to organize the event. Nextly, I would like to thank our HOD of EE and EN Department, BBDITM, and the branch counselor, Professor Rafiq Ahmed, who always recognized our capabilities and always encouraged us. I would also like to thank our branch advisor, Khadim Moin Siddiqui sir, who always supported us and corrected us whenever we needed. Nextly, I would like to extend my thanks to WIE advisor, Professor Kanika Lamba ma'am, whose presence always motivated us and she was always there for us. I would also like to thank the WIE team members Kainat, Vijaya, Yashika, Shreya, Anshika, Aditi, Agrata, and each one of you who shouldered the responsibility and made the event so successful. Lastly, I would like to thank Shrey Khanna, Abdullah, and all the technical team members whose contributions are commendable. Thank you so much, everyone.
I request
Your voice is not clear.
Professor Khadim Moin Siddiqui sir, please present the token of appreciation.
Am I audible, Anchor?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Jennifer, ma'am. Indeed, your lecture was so much important and effective for us and for our students. And your exemplary contribution for the humanity is also appreciated. And I also would like to appreciate personally and from my team side, I would like to appreciate you for the wonderful contribution for the humanity. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation gladly and kindly receive this token of appreciation from our side, since it is the virtual mock program. So we are giving you virtually here, and shortly we will deliver to your address, or we will give Amazon coupon. Kindly receive, ma'am, and it is an honor for me to give you this token of appreciation, ma'am.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a great pleasure. Uh, Anchor, now it is over to you.
Gaming session. The rules are simple. A question will come up on your screen. As soon as you solve it, please raise your hand. Keep your microphone and video unmuted until you are asked to open them. The first one to raise the hand gets the opportunity to answer. Every correct answer will be awarded 1 point. The participant with the maximum points at the end of the session will be declared the winner. Without much ado, let's begin. The first question is on your screen now. Ankit Jain, please answer.
Yeah, it's every month is of 28 days, na? 12 month. Because in every month we are having 28 days. Above 28 or more than 28.
Okay, that was amazing. And 1 point to you. So moving forward, the second question on your screens now. Tarannum Zafar Ansari, please answer.
Incorrectly.
Correct. That's the correct answer. 1 point to you. And now the third questions on your screen. Tarannum Zafar Ansari, please unmute yourself.
He will weigh meat.
Okay, that's another correct question for Tarannum. Let's move ahead. The next questions on your screen now. Sneha Prasad, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello.
Yes, Sneha, you are audible.
Oh, yes,
Please
I
answer.
can hear you. Yes, I'm not really sure, but is it the unequal sign?
No, that's not the correct answer. I'm
Oh, all
sorry.
right.
Anyone else, please? The symbols have to be from the four symbols shown on your screen. Ankit Chan, please unmute
Bracket.
yourself.
Bracket.
No. I again repeat, the symbols have to be from the four symbols being shown on the screen. So, shall we move to the next question? Ankit, please unmute yourself.
He will be second, na?
This is not the correct answer.
First,
Please try again.
there is a guy who is in the just second position.
His position will be first because he has crossed the person who is in second
That's
position.
correct, Amit. That's correct. Congratulations. Let's move on to the next question.
Kanchanjunga, I guess.
I'm sorry, that is the incorrect option. Then you will like to try again. Tarannu, please answer.
Mount Everest.
Exactly,
That is
that's the
only
correct answer. Another point for Tarannu. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question, please.
Reverse
Turn to 180 degree. Could you please repeat your answer?
just reverse the whole.
Turn the question to 180 degree. Yeah, that's correct. Then Shambhavi was the first to answer. The point goes to Shambhavi. Let's move on to the next question, please. Tarannu, please answer.
Michael.
Michael.
And that's correct. Another
Michael.
point.
Michael.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Tarannu, please answer.
15.
And that's correct. Next question, please. Tarannu, go ahead.
He can take photos with camera, not wooden leg.
That's correct. Another point. Tarannu, please go ahead.
Wednesday.
Sorry, that's the incorrect answer.
Is it Monday?
Yes, it is. And point to Sneha. Let's move ahead.
The sister.
Sister. That's correct. The point goes to Shambhavi. Next question, please. Okay, that brings us to the end of the session. And the winner for the event for the evening is Tarannum. Congratulations to you, Tarannum. The prizes will be declared at the closing ceremony of the event, that is on the last day. I would now request Dr. Shailendra Tahiliani, Sir, HOD ECE Department, BBDITM Lucknow, to come up for the closing of the event. I request Professor Khadim Moin Siddiqui, sir, to come up on the stage for the closing of the event.
Agartha, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, okay. So I think our branch counselor, sir, is not available.
So I think he's having some
available.
Okay, okay, okay. So most humbly, I would like to invite our respected branch counselor and head of the department, Professor Rafiq Ahmed, for closing this wonderful event. Sir, it is over to you, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are completely audible.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Speaker. With the kind permission of Honorable Chief Guest, come Speaker, today we are going to close today's session. Please permit me. Thank you so much. You can leave the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much.